What's up, guys? Jones and Jim back again for another video. Today we're doing Jones and Jim's thoughts as we did last week. And with a lot going on right now in the sports world, in the world itself in the pandemic. Okay, stop. And Jim and I were talking about, we need to talk about what's going on right now, like the KBO, the Korean Baseball Organization, watching those games at like 5 o'clock in the morning. They're repeated at like 3 o'clock on ESPN later that day, and talking about the newest revelations with MLB. There's a projected chance that they could be back later a month or so with training and starting in July. And of course, the NFL schedule release on Thursday was interesting.
Yeah.
We all knew what teams were going to be playing our teams, but we just didn't know where it was going to shake up in terms of week 1, week 2, etc. So, and lastly, we're going to do something today that Jim and I were talking about. I think it'd be kind of funny if we surprise each other, and maybe, obviously, it interests you guys, about things that bother us. And I have one that just really irks me. And I didn't tell Jim, and Jim did not tell me his.
Nope.
So that'll be at the very end. So, Jim, what do you think so far?
I like it. I like the layout.
Okay. All right. So we're going to be talking about each thing individually from the top to bottom. The Korean Baseball League, I saw that I think Taiwan and Korea are both playing, South Korea are both playing baseball right now, if I think I read that right.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to see all their names because it's so similar. Like, I don't know one from the other.
No,
and
it's
there's
hard.
always a hyphen. There's always a hyphen in all their names. And it's just crazy. Like, I can't keep up with that. And it's hard to pronounce. I listen carefully to the announcers, but that's something we're also going to talk about. Carl Ravage and that Eduardo Perez and their special guests, they hardly ever talk about the game, which is really annoying. They just talk about, oh, yeah, I woke up at 3 a.m. this morning. I got my coffee and a bagel. It's like, dude, we're watching the game. Like, talk about the game. But it's really crazy. What is your experience so far with watching the KOB?
So the KBO, I've sat through one game. I recorded it because I didn't get up at 5, but once I got up around like 7 something, I watched it through, and I fast forwarded through a little bit of it. And I was interested in it because it was a team called the LG Twins. They had 2 former Baltimore Orioles on it,
Yes.
so I was like, "This is the team I'm going to check out." They have a pitcher, Tyler Wilson, who is an American player there, which is our first topic, and then they also had Hyun-Soo Kim, who came from there and had his stint with the Orioles and the Phillies too,
and
right?
the Phillies, he was okay for us. Okay.
Yeah, same here. I mean, he had his ups and downs, but I mean, with the Korean Baseball League, like you said, it's really hard to follow who's who, not meaning anything racist or anything by that. It's just really hard because I don't know the players. A lot of the names are very similar. The hyphens, they don't really talk about the players like you said. And then also the Korean broadcasts, they don't put the positions up when someone's up to bat. So like you don't know if it's the catcher or the left fielder that's hitting.
Yeah. I went with the Kia Tigers. Because it looked the most like the Phillies. I don't know anything about them. I saw they have Aaron Brooks from the Milwaukee Brewers, pitcher.
Oh, nice.
I was like, okay, that's terrific. I'm going to root for Aaron Brooks. No, but I just picked the Kia Tigers because they look like the Phillies. So I have nothing to lose there. I did see they lost this morning, so we're off to a great start. But yeah, watching the American players on the team, like, how do they communicate? Like, there has to be an interpreter. Like, I literally saw. I was watching the Dinos team, which is a really good team, by the way. I saw Aaron Altier, who used to play for the Phillies, who I despised, and he is now playing in Korea. And I saw him just sitting there talking to like a handful of the Korean players. I'm like, what are you talking about? Are you telling me they all know what you're saying? And vice versa. It just kills me.
The game that I watched, they were interviewing the guy who he signed with the Brewers. His name is escaping me, but he was the MVP of the KBO. He's an American player. And they were asking him that same question, how you communicate. He said a lot of the times through a translator. But he said, he learned a lot of the common things, so he could go to like a restaurant and order his own food. He said a lot of the players there have learned a lot of English, and like that's like a big thing for them. They're trying to learn English themselves.
I appreciate that. I like that.
Yeah.
My next question is it watchable? And I say it is for right now, because when MLB hopefully comes back, I don't think anyone's going to care. I'll be honest with you, I will not care. I want to watch my team, the Phillies, not the Kia Tigers. I'm here for them now as a fair weather because that's what it is. Is it watchable? I see a lot more errors than normal. It's crazy to see no one in the stand except for like cheerleaders, which I think is amazing. I saw the mascots had fake masks on their mascot. That was very smart and intuitive and creative. But the thing that bothers me the most is pitching speed is so much slower by like almost 15 miles an hour. Like their speeds are anywhere from 88 to like 92, which is still, that's amazing, but that's like a dominant high school pitcher, right? Like that's a really good high school pitcher, but like you're not going to see 98 and 100. Like you're not going to see that.
No.
The game slows down a lot for me. That's why it's watchable for now, but when MLB comes back, hopefully it's done, in my opinion.
I mean, like I had fun watching the one game that I watched in the beginning, but I'm not gonna lie, I got a little bored because one, player recognition's a big thing. That's why it's hard for these other football leagues to succeed with the NFL. You just don't know the names. And two, like you said earlier, the broadcast is boring, man. They barely
Carl Ravage, dude. The Carl Ravage and Eduardo Perez, they are terrible at this because they're not talking about the game, the strategy, the defense alignment. They're going to lay a bunt down? They don't talk at all about the game hardly. Like 10% of it's talking about the game. I don't like that. I give them a little bit of a pass because they're legit watching it on screens and like their offices. So I mean, it may be a little harder for them to get into it, but I mean, it's their job. But here's the deal: they're getting paid to do it. We are not. Do your job.
And the slower pitching speed, I mean, they're just crushing them out in the ballpark. They're crushing.
The American players are like, oh yeah. I'll be honest though, and I'll get to my last point. It is cool to watch baseball again that isn't the 1997 World Series on MLB Network for the 80th time. But my last thing is that with the Korean Baseball League, for Americans, we're 13 hours behind Korea. Okay, so if it's 1 o'clock in the morning here, it's 2 p.m. there. So the games come on at like 5:30 in the morning, which means like 6:30 at night the game starts there. So I will tell you, when I wake up around like 6:30 or 7, depends on when my son wakes up. And as soon as I get him a bottle, I'll put the game on. It's already like the 7th and 8th inning, so it's kind of juicy at that point. So I am enjoying that. But that's pretty much it, dude.
Yeah, I mean it's nice to have. It's nice to have
baseball.
But once our actual league MLB comes back, I'm done with it.
Sayonara. And
let's move into the MLB here.
Yeah, and you just said like when MLB restarts, hopefully restarts. Cross your fingers, dude. But I read recently, ESPN, CBS Sports are all talking about potentially starting back June 10th for training.
Spring training too.
Summer training. And then July 1st would be opening day. Now, before I say about if I think that's a little too optimistic, wouldn't it make sense, dude? This is an alley-oop. This is a free throw. All right. This is the easiest thing you could ever do. What's the most American day in the United States?
July 4th.
July 4th. Why do July 1st? You should make opening day July 4th just because it signifies, America's getting back. And
July 4th is on a Friday. So, I mean, what would this be a Monday then?
Tuesday. It'd be a Tuesday.
It would be a Tuesday. I mean, I just think it probably has to go with how many games they're trying to get in to this season.
Dude, this is the biggest layup ever. July 4th is opening day for this incredibly asterisk type year. I think July 4th would be so cool. You have a hot dog, you got a beer, you're watching the game, like July 4th, families that are social distancing still, but, they can maybe watch the game out by the pool. Like, dude, you're just asking for just an awesome thing to occur. July 1st, no. July 4th, that's what I want.
Well, here's the thing. Even though it's not starting on July 4th, there's still going to be baseball on July 4th. So,
I understand, but, dude, how cool would it be to be the first game, and it's America's birthday?
Yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying, but
I'd rather you disagree with me than agree with me, so I'm fine with
that. They're hoping to have a big opening day and then have even bigger day on July 4th, because you'll probably you may get through the first series and then you move on to your second series for July 4th. Because are they going to have any off days on this? Like,
I don't know how it's going to work. Here's the deal: nothing's finalized. There's just
it's all rumors.
There's a lot of floor plans, right? And I said here the dates above are too optimistic. Everyone's saying it's way too optimistic. So, dude, we might not even have this whole July 4th shindig thing. I have read a lot of people think those dates are way too optimistic. Like, it might not even happen at all. So I'm just hoping it does. We get baseball back. In my opinion, it seems like the Korean Baseball League is doing all right because there's no fans. Who cares?
Yeah.
But it's still watchable because it's a great sport. So
I agree.
Major League Baseball.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm ready for it. For it. I mean, that would be the first sport in the U.S. that would get started back up because, like we talked in our last video, the NBA and NHL, I think this season's a wash. I don't think there's going to be playoffs or anything.
Right. Well, that leads us to football. I can see your Jags gear in the back there, and you can see, obviously, my Eagles champions from Super Bowl 52, and obviously my hat that I've had since I was 10 years old. The NFL schedule released on Thursday, and obviously we all knew who our teams are going to be playing, just didn't know whether it's week 1 or week 4 or whatever that is. And I'm just going to say really quick, Eagles have a really hard schedule. And I don't know what's going to happen when it comes to, are they flying out to the away game? Like, what are they going to do? Like, how are they going to social distance if this is still an issue with the pandemic? And I don't know how it's going to work, but it seems set in stone much more than MLB. So I'm just happy that we have some kind of, like, let's get going here. What did you think about the schedule release and specifically the Jaguars?
Well, just real quick touch on you guys, the Eagles. Yours is definitely a harder one because you guys have a first-place schedule, which, I mean, you win the division, that's what you get next year. You get a first-place schedule, which is kind of crappy. The whole schedule release, I mean, it was a big to-do. I didn't really get, too pumped up for it. I mean, I was interested to see, who's going to be where. And it's not like a normal year where I'm planning out if I can get to an away Jaguars game. Like last year was big because you and I went to Jacksonville, and when the schedule came out, I was like, this is the game I want to do. It's over Thanksgiving break. The Jaguars play the Ravens, and the Ravens are pretty close to us. But if there's going to be no fans, doesn't matter. Yeah. And I mean, so it was nice to just look at the schedule and see and be like, oh, this is when we play potentially, Joe Burrow and the Bengals. This is when we play Phillip Rivers and the Colts. I mean, so it was just nice to see. But did I watch 1 second of the 3-hour schedule reveal? Hell no.
Oh no. I just went online and just got the link for the schedule.
Well, and the teams were allowed to release them at 7:30. So what was the point of this big old release thing at 8?
Right now we're living in a conundrum. We don't know what's going to happen. There's an anomaly, if you will. We don't know what's going to happen every day. So everyone's just trying stuff. I think everyone's just we're just going to try this. We'll do it at 7:30 and it'll be 3 hours. Why not?
Yeah.
I really think they want to take their time to give people at home what stuff to do. But yeah, I think football, out of all 4 major sports, we can include soccer too, or European football. I think football probably has the most thriving from fans, football players.
Yeah.
I'm sure baseball, kind of helps the home team when they're cheering loudly for a pitcher to try to throw a strike on the other team, or a batter trying to get a piece of the ball if they're an away team. But I think football, there's just so many people on the field at one time, and the fans always seem to be just more into it with football, in my opinion. I could be wrong. Basketball, hockey, everyone's into that, but football is usually outside, and it's just there's more people, usually more seats. More seats means more mouths just yelling. So I don't know if they need fans there, but I know there's players that really thrive off the fans. Like for the Eagles, our defensive end, Brandon Graham, like he's talked about like the fans make me a better player. And I can get that because when I played football in high school, when I played in college, you try to, completely focus and take out all the mechanisms of like fans. But when you hear them really get fired up, it does get you a little going. It does.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Especially at 3rd and long and you're on the defense, or if you're on goal line trying to score, like the fans can really give you that extra inch you might need. So I don't know. I just want football back, like you've said. Simple.
Yeah. And I mean, just real quick, last thing on the NFL schedule release. This was like the last thing that we really know of when it comes to the NFL. I know I said that with the draft before, but we did have the schedule release coming, but now it's like, now what? Like we just got to wait and see. So that's why I'm really hopeful for baseball.
Yeah, we'll do a quick recap, and I'll stop sharing before we get to what bothers us. But talk about the Korean Baseball League. It's for what it is. It's enjoyable to watch because we have nothing else. But as soon as MLB's back, sayonara.
See you later.
And MLB restarting. Hopefully it restarts. No, you and I are not going to make a change on that, but I know that we'll both be very happy to see baseball again. Obviously, in our home country and players that we know and love. NFL schedule release. It was exciting because there was nothing else to watch. It was exciting because it was something brand new and novel, but also I'm terrified for the Eagles. Like they're either going to go 10-6 or 6-10. That's my opinion.
No pressure being a Jags fan. It is what it is.
Yeah. All right. So back to our last point on Jones and Jim's thoughts. I asked you this earlier to prepare.
Yes.
I said I want to talk about what bothers us. Now I'm just going to say one, so I can delve into it pretty big. So, but I'm gonna have you go first, if you don't mind. What bothers you? Just do one item, and we can always do more later, but do one thing that really bothers you besides me.
The one thing that really bothers me, especially recently, is any person who posted, shared, watched, believed the Plandemic documentary on YouTube. Any person that posted that was like, oh, they're covering shit up. Listen, you're dumb. You bother me.
It's like
don't do that.
Yeah, like the Pentagon was an inside job. There was a plane that hit it. Just please stop.
And I can't roll my eyes hard enough to all the people that posted that. If you're one of those people that really believe that, sorry, not sorry.
No, I'm with you, buddy. I'm with you too. I think people just love controversy rather than just being optimistic or just being pessimistic. They have to be contradict everything that people say, or they have to just stir the pot. I'm like, how boring is your life? I'm with you. I'm with you. All right. Well, what really bothers me, this has nothing to do with the pandemic or what you said. This is what bothers me. People that like snakes. Like, you're telling me that you are risking your life to be able to say, I own a viper that has venomous fangs and venom in their body. No, it's a boa constrictor. I don't care if it's a boa constrictor. I don't care if it's not venomous. It's a snake. The thing's so scary. It crawls everywhere. It can go around your body like a vine. It's terrifying. And it snaps like boom, boom, like lightning. Like, I want to know one person that can honestly look in my eyes and be like, dude, snakes are lovable, man. They're so sweet.
I love my snake.
I'll be honest with you. My dad's best buddy growing up, he loves snakes. I'm like, you're lying. There's no way. Like, dude, we can be a tough guy. We can drink a beer or something, but you don't have to say you like snakes.
Yeah.
I hate snakes, dude. I physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, everything with an LY ending hate snakes. Wow. I am so scared of snakes. I'll ball up like a little baby. I don't care. I'll jump on top of you like Mr. Peepers from Saturday Night Live. I don't care. I hate snakes so much. And people are like, God, I just love snakes. I'm like, you're messed in the head. You're sick. There's something wrong with you. People that just like, I've heard so many stories about people that like, they love like hurricanes or like some kind of like natural disaster. especially the animal people, so they can go fetch and find all the missing animals. Well, there is a demographic of those people that just love to go digging holes to find all the missing snakes. I'm like,
oh my God.
These missing snakes don't know you. They're going to attack you. You're an idiot. I hate snakes, and I really hate the morons that love them and want to make them house pets. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? I don't get it.
What's worse, snake people or tarantula people?
Snake people. Tarantula, I can step on and kill. Snake, I step on it, it's going to veer, and it might be probably in the balls. Forget it. Tarantulas don't bother me. I don't care about them. They're creepy as all hell, but I'm not scared of them. I'm terrified of snakes. All right. So anyway, this was a great video, and I hope you at home enjoyed watching it. If you have anything you want to comment on the bottom down below, please do. We will definitely get back to you, both of us.
Yes.
Yeah, it's exciting to get a little bit more clarity about sports returning, sports going on right now, etc., and have at least a schedule for a very dominant sport in America.
Yes, yes.
So that's my thoughts. Any last words you want to say, sir?
No, just love to get back to normal.
Oh, all right, man. Well, it's good talking with you, and obviously good to be able to give a little insight information to the people that are watching.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, we'll see you.
See ya.